بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome all of you wherever you are. I welcome you again with your program with the beginning of Fatawa in Ramadan. In the first day of Ramadan, may Allah repeat it again on us and all the Muslim Ummah with goodness and peace and tranquility. The first question came from one of the great brothers from one of the masjid. There was a big dispute from the board that I put myself in that place. The reason allowed the Muslim community, the Arabic part, to practice weddings, condolences, invitations, aqiqah, so on. They said the masjid is not for these kind of things, only to practice the worship. Somebody wants to call somebody, bring him to the masjid, and there could be some of the non-Muslims or non-practicing people. Then he says, knowing it goes with the Islamic rules, no cooking in the masjid. So give us a fatwa, jazakumullah khair. The answer, that the masjid, my dear brother, since the time of the Prophet ﷺ, it's not a place to worship, to have certain practices in there. No, it was a field of life where the worship virtues are done, and establishing the prayers, they are collecting the charities, and they divide the war gains. It is also a place of gathering, to have happiness, to communicate between people, to socialize. The life is attached to the masjid. The masjid took all parts of the life of the society. To indicate that, what An-Nasa'i he put in his Sunan Al-Tahawi, that Ibn Salama ibn Abdul Rahman, that from Aisha, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, that he said, the Habasha, the people from Habasha came to the masjid, playing, and they were dancing with their spears on their way. So he said, "Oh, red-headed, would you like to look at them?" So I said, "Yes." So he stood on the door, and I put my chin on his ankle, on his shoulder, and I put my cheek on his. And they kept repeating, "Abul Qabis is a good person." And they're saying it in their own language that nobody understood. Aisha didn't. But that's what they are expressing, their respect to the Prophet ﷺ, to allow them to practice these dances in his masjid. Then he asked her if she's had enough. She said, "Don't rush me, Rasulullah." And I said again, she said, "Why? I don't like her, but I want to, your wife will know my status with you." This hadith, it was authenticated by Al-Albani and others. So let's talk about this hadith. The Ahbash, they used to dance with their spears in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. And while they're doing that, Umar entered the masjid. So he saw something he's not used to. So he did not like it. And he rushed as normal to deny it. And he wanted to get some rocks from the masjid to throw it at them. Because they are doing this in the middle of the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. So he told them, alayhi salatu, leave them, O Umar. These are the people of Arafat, meaning from that, their way of expressing their joy. And then he told them, peace on you, play, stay playing. After, they were horrified by Umar. And he kept saying, play, sons of Arfada, so many times until he said, so the Jews will know and the Christians that there is a space in our religion. I was sent with the religions that is full of tolerance. The Prophet ﷺ wants to show the tolerance and the ease in this religion. Our religion is not something about just certain worship exercises or to forbid people from everything in life. No, it is the tolerance, the ease. And this is originally in all life affairs. And what is forbidden is something minor. Didn't Allah says, and He has bestowed to you everything in heavens and earth with His bounties. And with that, it was all the restrictions were taken away that was in the previous nations. Allah says, those who are following the messenger, the illiterate, that they found him written in their book, in the Torah and the Bible, He is ordered them on good and forbid them what is evil, and permit to them the goods, and forbid on them what is filthy. And He will take the burden that they were holding on their shoulders. So the Jews and the Christians, they need to understand there is ease in our religion. And our messenger, our Prophet ﷺ, he came in with the tolerant religion. And he is the one who allowed to them the goods and forbid what is evil and bad and filthy, and take all the burdens that they have put on themselves. And by the way, for Assembly of American Muslim jurists, about some of the practices that are allowed, eating and exercising, eating and sleeping, that is allowed as long as does not pollute the masjid or it make it hard on the people who are worshipping Allah. It doesn't, and there should be in the masjid a place where people could eat and sleep, and also the sport that is allowed inside the masjid. That should not distract those what is the original way of establishing the prayers and the dhikr and recital of the Quran. So if we look at those general rules in every activities, then you'll find no mixing between men and women. And the private part should not be uncovered and should not be having musical instruments, and the masjid property should not be tampered with. Also, put in some documents. There should be no problem, inshallah, unless there is like a special area where you could provide these kind of documents. Even if there is like some of the violations, like a few music, or because if the good is outweighs the harm, then you put also the people who are in charge of the righteous and the experts, so you can reduce these kind of violations. And we should have a place that's attached to the masjid for these kind of activities, so you will get out of this dispute and to preserve the. What about the public announcement and using the speakers? The public announcements and the using the. The thing that has the interest of the Muslims, it is allowed in all. The only thing that is accepted, what to make the announcement in the masjid, that should not distract those who are praying or stop them from worshiping. So it will be before the prayer or after, and the management of those who represented is the one who does it. This is what the matter should be from fiqh point of view. We are stressing also the. But as far as the occasion, we take from the permissible and the choices that are permissible what bring people together and gather their word. So all the management decisions, people need to order what is good, and they have to take it to and to follow the majority. So look how you're going to direct your community with patience, with tolerance, and you could leave something. The, the Sheikh said that you have to intend to soften people's heart, to leave the things that are like, because to bring people together is better than being separated. Just like the Prophet ﷺ, he left the change of the house of Allah when he pays it back for. This is part of softening the heart, and just like in the Saud, the dispute is all wrong. So ask Allah for guidance. The second question, the brother is asking, Ramadan, and I live outside Muslim countries. If I give food to my customers, I might be in sin, even though I know. If I close the restaurant for 30 days, I will have a lot of bills. And that will put me into so many bad choices. So what is the solution? My dear brothers, no doubt that declaring that being not fasting and from that are obligated to fast, and we're not talking about non-Muslims or just newly Muslims, or those who are sick or who are traveling. And also the women, they have their own excuses with period. So helping people and breaking their fast in Ramadan, it's one of the helping on the biggest sin. So you shouldn't provide the meal for those who eat it in the restaurant, or because the one who is breaking his fast from the Muslims, and to help him in breaking his fast with no legitimate excuse is a major violation to Allah's order, who said, "Eat and drink until it is clear to you that the day, and complete the prayers to the night." Is the non-Muslims addressed in the rules of this life or no? And they will be accountable for it in the hereafter. So after you call them to monotheism and the oneness of Allah, if they agree to that, then we talk about the other virtues of religion, and they will be punished of the day of judgment. Where Allah said, every soul is responsible what they did, except and the Nawawi says the correct madhab school of thought that the disbelievers, they're forbidden to wear silk or gold. They were forbidden on the men of this ummah, but they're not going to be addressed in this life before monotheism. We didn't go into the Muslims street to see if there's any of this. In summary of what the Sheikh said, that the non-Muslims, the civilians, they don't have to follow, because Umar, he gave a gift of silk that he gave to the Prophet ﷺ to somebody who is a disbeliever in Mecca before the permission, because of his best thought. And the summary, if Muslim can, mashallah, give the month of Ramadan, or he make his work to do it, to go, not to eat in his place, that's also is acceptable. So if that and this already hard for him, and him not doing his work in his shop, then let him deny that in his soul, and let him translate that into actions. Will you give the congratulations on this month and you show it is a month of fasting to the Muslims and to and he to make it hard on his customers, the Muslims who are trying to eat during Ramadan. And he to purify his money with giving a lot of charity. And I hope with that he is in the side of salvation and the day of judgment. Another question: is the spray for asthma, does it break your fast? No. This is part of what came in the decision of the American Muslim Jurists Association. If whispering of divorce, I feel like I have said it. We'll welcome you as a new guest, and if you look into our previous parts, you'll find that we have talked about this subject, and there's the divorce does not happen because you talk to yourself. Allah has forgiven this believers unless they intended to do something wrong. And the one with the whispering of the shaitan, the one that is overcome with the divorce, where he keeps telling, "Oh, you meant not divorce." That divorce does not happen, even if he clarified it, unless he didn't intend it to it, accepting it, happy with it. He is calm with it because he is. Uh, he is in that level of ighlaq, meaning, and he needs to see a psychologist as soon as possible. There's no disease with no cure. But the stars will stop here tonight and we'll continue after Maghrib inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.